This segment of Naperville Sports Weekly is brought to you by the Daily Herald.
I'm here with Scott Lawler, head baseball coach at Benet Academy. Thanks for joining me, Coach.
Thanks for having me.
Now, you're in your 5th season here at Benet. How's this year's team kind of stack up with some of the other ones that you've had the privilege of coaching?
We've had probably some more success during the regular season with some of our past teams, but have been upset a few times in the playoffs. And this year, I think this team is I think they come alive in the playoffs, which is when it really matters.
Hey, you mentioned that is when it really matters, and kind of an up and down season. You know, guys always kind of hovering a few games below 500 throughout most of the year, but 2 big wins to open the postseason. Your 2nd straight regional final, which I understand is the first time in program history that you guys have done that. So,
yeah,
congratulations on the back-to-back regionals. But looking at that postseason success that you kind of mentioned, what is it that kind of, is it just like a switch that kind of flicks on for these guys, that knowing that, hey, season's on the line, kind of getting those better performances?
Sure. I think during the season we had a few guys that were hurt, injured, a couple guys that just a few obstacles that we had to overcome as a team. And I think at the end of the year, I think when the dust cleared, I think everybody's like, you know what, new season, let's go. I think we have some talent here. We did it in the summer, so let's why not us? And they've really taken to it. Good energy in the dugout, good energy on the field, and they did a great job playing last week, and I could see this team keeping it up throughout the playoffs.
And that opening playoff game against Noble College Prep, you guys came out, great first 2 innings. Then you started really coming in with a lot of pinch hitters, got everybody in there. I think, like 20-something guys got in that game. What's that feeling like for you as a coach? And just knowing that you have that much depth, but especially in a playoff situation, you guys get a comfortable lead and able to get everyone into some of those big games. What's that feeling like for you as a coach?
It's an outstanding feeling because you get, David Lasota got his first hit as a varsity player.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and but you get to see, who wants to rise to the occasion, who takes advantage of their one at bat, one inning in defense, pinch running, and so it's great to have everybody participate, and it shows the depth of the program that we're not afraid to put a lot of people in. And in the last couple of years, if anybody has seen our program, we do play a lot of guys. So it was great to give a lot of people an opportunity. And I think throughout the game, I think every guy that came in played hard. So and I think I was more impressed with that than getting everybody in. So I was really, really happy about that first round game.
So team morale's got to be pretty high right now, riding on those 2 wins, that regional plaque. Out here at practice, beautiful day today.
Yeah.
What's kind of the mindset coming in, getting this practice in ahead of your upcoming game with Montini?
I think we wish we were playing tomorrow. So keeping them motivated for one more day of practice. I don't want to say it'll be a challenge, but just like when you're in Little League, when you get your game rained out, you're upset. I think we have a little of that. But we're ready to go, and I think one more day of solid practice and a little bit more rest for our bullpen, that we'll be in good shape, and I think our guys are ready for Montini.
You mentioned when we were chatting earlier that there's a lot of seniors on this team, but not a lot of experience coming back. What are some things that you've seen from some of those perhaps more experienced players? Dan Sobolewski, Alex Tassos kind of pop out as 2 of those senior leaders.
Yeah.
What are some things that you've seen from those guys perhaps throughout the season in the playoffs that have helped some of the younger guys kind of get it going?
You know what? Alex Tassos and Danny Sobolewski, and Danny did it in basketball, so he's got some great experience in the playoffs. I think them not being up and down and just being consistent has helped our program, especially this year. And we have a lot of seniors that contributed, but not a lot of them. Josh Tumpain, Bobby Ernsting, Danny Sobolewski, and Alex Tassos got to play last year, but only 2 of them really played with significant amount of time. And it takes some time to contribute on the varsity level. And I think that was kind of our ups and downs this year, that we had a few games that we made mistakes, but they've done a great job. The seniors have done a great job of helping clean that up. So we're ready to go in the playoffs. And I think they know what it takes to win a baseball game, and knowing that everybody's gunning for you in the playoffs. And Danny Sobolewski, Tassos, Alex has just been an unbelievable clutch player in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And I think everybody's expecting that. But again, Danny and some of the other guys, Josh Tumpain, with Mike Dunn and a few other guys. Who Mike's a junior, but he was up with us last year as a sophomore. They're ready to go. They're ready to go, and they're ready to lead us into the playoffs here. So
now, pretty much everybody that you just mentioned also plays another sport here at Benet as well. A lot of guys on the hockey team. You got Marty Dosen, the running back, playing football. Sobolewski on the basketball team. And all of them kind of have those intricacies of knowing what that grind can be in a season. I guess, what are some things that you see as a coach? Perhaps is it kind of difficult sometimes managing those two-sport athletes, or is that kind of a thing that they come in, they already know what it's like getting out there and having a full season? I guess what are some things that come into that as a coach, kind of balancing the two-sport athletes?
Being a three-sport athlete in high school, I love it. And, there's managing at times, because every once in a while you're going to have, basketball team goes deep into the season, hockey does too. You're not going to have them for the preseason. So their first 3 weeks of the season, it was almost their preseason. But knowing that you're going to have a bunch of guys that compete and know how to compete, because our hockey program's so successful, our basketball program's successful, our football team, our soccer team, our cross country, all the different sports that some of our kids have played in the past, they're successful. So you got guys that know how to compete in the playoffs. That only rubs off that when it's playoff time, they know what to do. They respond. I think when you have 2 or 3 sport athletes that maybe they played football or basketball and they weren't successful, they really don't have the playoff experience. But you know what? Danny knows how to take a team downstate, so I'm counting on that. Yeah. Our hockey team's had a lot of success, so I'm counting on those guys to help with that. Our football team, they won that playoff game, and I'm counting on them to bring that kind of energy to the dugout and into the field.
Now, you mentioned energy, and just going to the various games around Benet, whether it be basketball, football, it seems that there are always some of the teams out of all the ones that we cover that have the most fun. A lot of characters on these teams. What's that been like for you, kind of managing a lot of those personalities in the dugout? And talking to Alex earlier, it sounds like it's always a fun time, whether it be in the locker room, in the dugout, on the field. Yeah,
the last couple of years they've called the bench mob, the rock pile, like a whole bunch of different groups for our guys. And they're a bunch of characters. And I think if you follow Major League Baseball, they're talking about how to make it more fun. And I think if you come to our dugout, you learn how to have fun. So, and you see that with how our kids follow the other sports. That I think our fan base is one of the best in the state when it comes to following different sports teams. So it doesn't surprise me that our kids have fun. Sometimes I have to turn my back because I'm like, oh, I don't know about that. But you know what? They're having a great time. They're playing hard, and that's all you want. And you want them walking away from baseball and having a great time. So and liking their experience. And I think our guys do.
Do you ever find it difficult, kind of managing the line between having fun and kind of having them get serious, or do you find that they kind of know when it's time to stop goofing around and start kind of?
I think they know Coach Lawler's looks, and I think that's all I have to do. And once I tell them one time, I'm like, I don't think that's and they get it. So, but they don't do that too often. So, and right now, we have a lot of respect for the teams we play. We have a lot of respect from UIC Noble. We have respect for Glenbard South, and we have respect for Montini, and I think they do a great job of respecting our opponent. So they have fun, but they have fun rooting for ourselves.
And looking at that Montini game, what are some things, obviously so many different elements of a baseball game, of a baseball team. I guess if there's one specific thing that you want the team to do well in that Montini game, what do you think that's going to need to be in order to kind of increase the chances of getting a win?
We need to play a solid game. We need to throw strikes. We can't give them freebies. We can't get them walks and let them steal the bases. But if we do that and we play a clean defense, I think we'll put the ball in play. And if we execute the way we're supposed to, it'll be a great game. So a lot of respect. They've had a great season. Knocked off some great opponents. So I think it's going to be a great game.
Well, Coach, best of luck against Montini, and best of luck, hopefully, kind of keep that playoff streak going, and we can get some more wins from you guys.
That'd be great. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.